Hello everyone. I welcome all of you to learn US taxes with me. I'm happy to introduce that now our YouTube channel is also live. Please go and subscribe Learn US taxes with EA Manushi Shah. Okay, so in previous video, we all learned that what are the filing requirement? What is the meaning of US person who needs to file the tax return, right? So in this video, we will learn that what are the different type of tax forms are there in US, what are the different types of tax filers are there, what are the tax rates are there, right? And apart from that, we will see the level of taxation in the United States along with the different tax filers, their tax preparation form along with the original and the extended due date. So let's try to learn. So basically in this video, first we will see the different type of tax filers. Apart from that, we will see the different types of taxes, different types of tax rates. We will see the level of taxation, and at last we will see the different forms along with the due date. So if we talk about different types of taxpayers, or you can say tax filers, so taxpayers can be individual and other than individual. In individual, it can be a resident individual, it can be non-resident individual. And apart from individual, we have a different types of entities, which can be business entities, which will include C corporation, S corporation, partnership, tax exempt organization. Then we have the single member LLC and trust and estate. So this all type of entities runs and administrated by different members. So S corporation and C corporations run by the shareholders, right? Partnership firm run by the partners. Exempt organization run by the officers. Single member LLC, that name itself suggests, right? It run by the single member, that is the single person, right? Trust and estate, it run by the trustee as well as the executor. So these are the different types of business entity which is other than individual taxpayer. After that, we will see that what are the different types of taxes are there in the United States. So we have the income tax and other than income tax. Income tax can be imposed on the individual taxpayer as well as for the corporation, that is the business, right? Apart from income tax, we have the payroll tax, property tax, which is also known as real estate tax. We have the use and sales tax. We have the we have the gift and estate tax. So these are the different types of taxes. If we talk about the tax rates, so we have the effective tax rate and the marginal tax rate. What is the meaning of effective tax rate? So in nutshell, if I talk about effective tax rate, so effective tax rate is a flat amount of tax rate, right? So this effective tax rate is an average tax rate which is paid by the individual or the business or the corporation, and it's shown as a percentage which represent the share of a person's corporation or the person's income, right? And it will go to the federal taxes. So let's take the example. In the EC corporation, we have to pay flat 21% tax rate. So that is a part of our effective tax rate. Okay. Now what is marginal tax rate? So marginal tax rate is having a different tax brackets and which will be changed by the IRS according to the inflation. Currently, we have the basic tax rate which start from the 10% and which tends to 37%. We have a different 7 tax brackets are there under this marginal tax rates. Why there is a states in the US chart is given? You must have a question, right? So let's try to understand why I have put this, right? So in the United States, we have a 3 level of taxation system: federal, state, and the local. In India, we just need to file our income tax return with the income tax department. That's it. right? But in United States, we have to file our federal tax return to the IRS. Apart from that, we have to file our state and the local tax return to the respective state and local government, right? So to understand this thing, we have here the different states in the United States. So basically, we have the 50 states in the United States. You can see here, right? All 50 states will not have the income tax. There are 8 states in the US we don't have income tax, right? So what are those 8 states? It is having a list of Alaska, Florida, South Dakota, Tennessee, Washington, Texas, and Wyoming. So these are the 8 states that don't have income tax. But that doesn't mean they don't have to pay any kind of tax. Only income tax is not there in this 8 states. Apart from income tax, we have already seen there are different taxes are there apart from income tax. So those taxes are applicable in this 8 states. Okay. So after knowing the taxation level and the different type of tax filers, now we will see what are the different forms needs to be prepared by the different tax filer and what is the original and the extended due date for those tax filers. So here I have put a chart with the calendar year taxpayer. So in United States, they generally follow the calendar year which start from the January and which ends on the December, right? Apart from calendar, they can go for the fiscal year, which can be, any 12-month period. But majority of them are using calendar year. So I just created this table with these calendar year taxpayers, right? So slowly and gradually we will see each and every tax filers needs to file which form, what is the original due date and what is the extended due date. Now you must have a question that what is meaning of original and extended due date? Wait. So this original due date is the original dates. Within that, you have to file your tax return. But somehow, if you are not able to file with this original due date, you can take advantages of extension. By filing the extension, IRS will provide automatic 6 months period by which you can file your tax return. But remember, this period is only and only to give as a filing tax return. If you have to make a payment of tax, you have to make it before original due date, right? If you fails to do the tax payment before this original due date, you can pay after that, but along with additional interest and the penalty. So to avoid that thing, tax payment must be paid within the original due date, although you have taken the extension. Okay. So first, individual taxpayer, it can be resident, it can be non-resident. So resident individual taxpayer needs to file their 1040 form. So the form name is 1040 and non-residents are required to file 1040 NR, which is for the non-resident taxpayer, right? Original due date for individual taxpayer, as per the calendar year, it's 15th April. It can be 15th April, right? If 15th April will be on a weekends or any holiday will be there, then the next working day will become the due date. So just because of that, somewhere you will find that instead of 15, 18th, right? So this year it was 18th April, right? Because on 15th and 16th it was holiday, right? 15, 16 and 17 it was holiday. So just because of that, 18th April was the due date. That is the original due date, right? Extended due date will be 6 months after the 15th April, that is the 15th October, right? In case of individual which is non-resident, 1040 NR form needs to be filed and the due date will be 15th April and 15th June. There are two circumstances. If non-resident individuals wages income is subject to withholding, then the due date will be 15th April, which is original, and 15th October, which is extended due date. But if wages are not subject to tax withhold, then the due date will be 15th June for those taxpayer and 15th December in case of extended due date. Now we will see the different type of business entity. So the first one, which is C corporation. C corporation, the filing form is form 1120. Original due date is 15th April and the extended due date is 15th October, right? In case of S corporation, we have to file form 1120S, and in case of partnership, we need to file form 1065. Now for S corporation and partnership, both have the similar original due date, which is 15th March, right? And the extended date will be 15th September. Okay. Now C corporation is required to file their own tax return, that is 1120, right? And the due date is 15th April, right? C corporation is required to pay taxes on the income which C corporation has earned, and that is the effective tax rate of 21%, right? Now, if we talk about S corporation and partnership, they just need to file their tax return by mentioning their income, deduction, asset, liability, and all, right? That is form 1120S and form 1065. They don't need to pay taxes, right? So your question must be there, then who will pay the tax? So once the return has been filed, the respective shareholder in case of S corporation and respective partner in case of partnership firms are required to flow through that income from S corporation and partnership firm to their respective individual tax return. So S corporation and partnership will issue form K1, right? And through K1, the respective shareholder and partner will include that income in their individual tax return, that is form 1040. Okay, so that is the main difference between C corporation and the S corporation, right? Now, if we talk about trust and estate tax. So for trust and estate tax, we have to file form 1041. Original due date is 15th April, but the extension due date is 30th September. So here is the case in where we need to check on the extended due date because it is not similar according to others. Here you can see the original due date is 15th April, but the extended due date is 30th September, right? We get additional, days to file the tax return. In case of estate tax, we have form 706 and the due date is 9 months of the date of descendant. So basically this estate tax will be filed once, one person died, and after death, we have the respective, executor or the legal heir or the beneficiary or surviving spouse will file this estate tax return, right? So the due date will be 9 months of the date of the death of that particular person, right? If they want to take the extension, then yes, 6-month extension can be granted, but upon the request to the IRS. Gift tax. So gift tax will have the form 709. And the due date to file this gift tax return is 15th April. Yes, here also we get the extension, that is 15th October, right? Last one, which is the exempt organization. The purpose is not a profit motive. The purpose is different than profit, and because of that, this exempt organization can be formed. For that, we have form 990, right? It is just kind of NPO, non-profit organization, right? This form 990, they have to file with the original due date, that is 15th May. And the extended due date is 15th November, right? So these are the all different types of forms with the original due date and extended due date. You can keep this chart with your reference as and when it is required. it can be very helpful for all of you, right? So you can save this chart later on, right? So this is all about different type of taxpayers, different type of taxes, tax structure, tax rate, and at last we have seen the different forms along with the original and the extended due date. I hope you guys have learned new things from this video, and we will have the upcoming video which is having the overview of the whole 1040 form, right? That is for the individual taxpayer, right? So stay tuned for the upcoming video, and yes, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, that is Learn US Taxes with EA Manushi Shah. See you soon, guys. Thank you so much. If you have any question, if you have any suggestion, please do let us know, and we will surely be the part of your professional and the growth journey. And the purpose of creating this YouTube channel is nothing else but to provide more detailed content on US taxation, so you guys can learn and you guys can grow. So thank you so much, guys.